What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tailgate Masters. Today we're going to be swapping out the spring rates on the 91 240 SX. Our current setup is too stiff for grip driving. The spring rates on the car is 16K in the front and 14K in the rear. We're going to switch to the 7K rears and the 10K fronts. This way it'll allow our suspension to travel a bit more and allow the shocks to actually do their job. First thing we're going to do is jack up the car. And in our case, we also have to take off the splitter. If you've watched the video of us making our splitter, you'll know that ours has a quick release mechanism. This takes us about 30 seconds to take off. There are a total of 4 quick release points as well as 2 bolts to take off, and the splitter comes right off. Don't forget to use jack stands for safety. We're then going to remove the front wheels to give us easier access to the bolts on the coilovers. There are 2 19mm nut and bolts holding the coilovers to the knuckle. Once you have the bolts removed from the knuckles, the only thing left remaining is the 3 12mm bolts holding the top of the coilovers to your car. In our case, we also have air cups, so you're going to have to remember to remove the air line going to the cup as well. With the coilovers removed, we're going to go ahead and loosen up the lock rings and relieve some tension on the springs. That way when we take off the top hat, the springs won't shoot out at us. With the spring tension release, we're going to remove the coilover dampener adjustment. This is held on by a 14mm. You just crack that loose and you can undo them by hand. Next, to remove the top hat, we're going to use a 17mm impact drive and knock that loose, and it should just come right off. With that off, you can go ahead and disassemble the coilovers. So the top hat, in our case the air cups, and the spring should just come right out. And then you can go ahead and replace it with the new spring that you've purchased. From here, we're just doing the same procedures but backwards to reassemble the coilovers. Now we're ready to put the coilovers back on the car. We're going to attach it by the top hat first, that way it has something to hold it against the car. Next we're going to reinstall the two bolts that hold the coilovers to the knuckles. From here, the only steps left are to retorque all the bolts and install the wheel. And in our case, we also have to install back our splitter. Thank you for watching.